Yes.
Awesome. Oh, I don't
Live
know.
stream.
Okay.
Oh, mine just says
Got it.
God.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Welcome to the Mind, Body, Soul magazine live stream number 3. This is number 3. So exciting. We've had 2 amazing live streams so far. Lots of people have been enjoying them. And I'm going to click some buttons to start making this go live to everybody. In the meantime,
Awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
Kathy, tell us about, tell us about what people can expect from Yoga Festival Bliss. Give us some
Yeah,
details.
well, the words say it all, right? Yoga Festival Bliss is an opportunity to create bliss through the yogic experience and some integration and create a sense of community in small town Midwest America. So holding the festival in Augusta, Missouri. There's just 200 people in our little tiny town. Lots of people live on the outskirts. And if you've never been to Augusta, the Katy Trail, Rails to Trails, goes through town. So you could do some bike riding. Klondike Park, St. Charles County Park is nearby for hiking. There's also camping cabins and campsites if you wanted to get a little nature-oriented experience. There's lots of bed and breakfasts in town and wineries if you wanted to indulge in those types of activities. And there is going to be 4 days of amazing yoga with over 16 leaders taking the helm, 90-minute practices, 30 minutes to transition so we never feel rushed and we can just really let it flow. And Sunflower Hill Farm is going to be creating 9 different meals for us to enjoy if people want to sign up for the vegetarian, gluten-free food options. And if they prefer to go off to a winery or a restaurant nearby, that's an option too. But, the festival's set up in a way you could do 1 session just to dip your toe in, or you could submerge yourself with up to 24 sessions for the whole 4-day weekend.
Hey, let me ask you quick,
Yeah.
and we are live to the public. We finally figured it out. Yeah, live stream number 3, Mind, Body, Soul, live from the Mind, Body, Soul magazine live stream number 3 for the Yoga Festival Bliss. We finally figured it out. It's taken us the 3rd live stream to figure out how to actually get it live.
Practice.
And I am furiously trying to tag people and do that stuff and edit the notes and things like that. So anybody who's happens to be jumping on, bear with us. I want to know what this is. The Yoga Festival Bliss is August 11th through the 14th in Augusta, Missouri. I look over here from time to time because I'm looking at the information about it, but it's at the Vereen, it's at the Harmony Verine. I've been struggling with that name on all the lives. Cultural Center in Augusta, Missouri. Tell me your favorite thing about the Harmony Verine Cultural Center, because I know that it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, so it's historic, and anyone who has had a good time in Augusta has probably been there. So the Harmony Verine name is German, and Augusta was settled in 1855 by German immigrants, and they created the Harmony Verine, which stands for like the music, right? Harmony, and Verine, the cultural center. So it was the place of music and dancing and laughter back in 1855 or whenever it was built, and it functioned in that capacity. Like there's a painting done by an artist ages ago, and it depicts the marching band going through town from Mount Pleasant Winery, the rolling hills, to the Harmony Verine for a picnic. When I was a kid, the parade would end there, and I think it was in the 70s the Legionnaires took it over as the American Legion Hall, but unfortunately they're aging out and they can't take care of it. So about 5 years ago there was an agreement with the we formed a new organization called the Augusta Heritage Foundation and created the Harmony Verine, took it back to its original name. And we've been trying to create more and more cultural, music, arts events there. And yoga, the healing arts, is the next thing to bring to the cultural center for our little community and really expand upon what it was intended to be. And maybe in a way that German immigrants had no clue it would be.
Right. They would be shocked and amazed and happy and blissful at the same time.
Right? That's the goal, creating some bliss.
That's it. And so tell me quick, I'm curious, Augusta, Missouri. This time of year it's a little bit warm, but that's cool. You know, it's good for I remember I went on this I went to India, you know, back in the day, and I went to this ashram and went to lots of pujas and all these things. And I went at a hot time of the year, and it would be 100+ degrees. And but I remember being like, oh no, but it really added to the environment. It really added to the richness. Like these meditations that we were doing and these pujas just were ignited that much more, is the only way I could say it. You know, it was magical. But I'm curious, so Augusta, Missouri, is it lush there? Like, give me some color on what can we expect.
I mean, I'm sitting in my sunroom at my home, and you can see all the green in Augusta. I'm in Augusta right now, and it's super lush. The vineyards are just looking amazing. Cornfields are thriving, and it's going to be 100, but it's air conditioned, right? So we're going to step into an air conditioned space with an old original hardwood floor. And there's a small stage for the instructors, so they're slightly elevated, like a small step. And it'll just be really great to get down on the floor and make some movement and breath work and play with body, mind, and soul.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And we're trying to get me there. Hopefully I'll be there, cameras in tow, microphones in tow, so we can you know, document the adventure for everybody. But quick, anybody jumping in on the live right now, we're here to talk about Yoga Festival Bliss, August 11th through the 14th, 2022, at the Harmony Varine Cultural Center. Finally, yes. It's going to be this amazing yoga festival. There's 16 teachers, leaders, call them what they will. It's 3.5 days, Thursday, August 11th through Sunday, August 14th. I've got Kathy Kessler on the line right here, or on this live. Kathy's the amazing yogi that's putting it together. And then we've also got Dhyanashanti, right? Down below on my grid anyway. You're down below. Hello, Diana. We're gonna jump into a little bit of her story in a minute here, but you're leading a session Sunday, August 13th. Saturday, excuse me. Jeez. Saturday, August 13th, 5 p.m. the Vin Yin yoga practice with Dhyanashanti. But before we get to that, tell me the theme, Kathy, of the festival. Like, there's an overriding theme. Tell me what's going on here.
It's bliss, right? And I wanted to call it the Bliss Festival because not only am I a yogi, but I'm a physical therapist, massage therapist. I practice myofascial release, and I just believe in the whole mind, body, spirit, wellness paradigm. But if I just call it a Bliss Festival, as I initially tried, people kept saying, what's a Bliss Festival? And I'm like, okay, I got to give this a little more definition. So I pivoted and called it Yoga Festival Bliss. And I know from receiving body work and practicing yoga, and when I eat really clean, I feel euphoric and blissful. When I really step out of the busyness of everyday life and I clean up my diet and move my body and play with friends and community. So it's really about finding our hearts, loving ourselves, and then just letting our light shine and sharing it with other people. So my goal is just to create bliss. And, you know, I say it's the inaugural year. I don't know if we're going to stick with Bliss Festival as the theme forever, or if it's going to evolve with a new word every year. But this year it's all about finding bliss, and these amazing leaders that I have found and put together. You know, they travel from Sedona, Michigan, from just across the river in Washington, Missouri to the St. Louis area. But I really brought a diverse group of people together to lead. And I think it's all of our mission to just enhance people's life. And when we enhance one another's life, that's bliss, right?
Yeah.
That's a smile on our faces.
Yeah. And this being number 3 of the live stream, I believe I've got to meet 7 or 8,
6 others.
6 others, and
Yeah.
everybody's bringing so much to the table, ready to give and just help create that community, that bliss. So I'm super excited to have Dhyana on here. And Dhyana, you're being incredibly patient, and I'm going to make you wait just one more minute because I know we've got Ananda Das coming too, and I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty exciting add to this festival, because he's magical with the music he creates, and he's every day he's going to be there bringing the music, all this fun stuff. So maybe give us some color around being able to get Ananda Das there. Like,
yeah, ironically, I listened to Ananda Das the first time in Sedona, and he was partnered with Lakshmi back then, and I get emotional because it moved me. I remember meeting my boyfriend Carl, and I said to him when we just first started dating, I'm like, do you want to go do a kirtan chanting thing? And when you start dating someone, you're like, I don't know their lifestyle, but Carl totally embraced it. And I just started falling in love with Carl, listening to this music and seeing him dancing in the background. And, yogis are willing to just get up and dance, and move their body to the rhythm of the music and to feel their heart and soul exploring through movement. So Ananda Das has led retreats. My friend Jenna's attended, my friend Miguel's attended the one he led in Guatemala. So I knew a lot about Ananda, but not as close to him as Jenna and Sangeeta. They're 2 of my best friends, but they both know Ananda really well. So one day we were out, Jenna's father had passed away, and Sangeeta was going to do a ceremony, and she ran into Ananda and said, join us. And Ananda showed up, and he held this beautiful, precious space for Jenna as we were grieving her father, Arnie. And then Sangeeta got in the middle of a labyrinth, and we did a walkabout in the labyrinth. And when Ananda showed up, Jenna said, you need to come to the yoga festival Bliss. And he said, okay. And so I reached out and just said, what would it take to get you here? So we created that. And I didn't even remember that Ananda in Sanskrit meant bliss. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, well, of course this fell into place. This is the whole theme. Of course Ananda's going to be here. So, it felt right to bring him here. And I'm just thrilled to have his vibe and energy supporting this festival for its first year. So,
yes. Yeah. Cool. I want to give a shout out quick. We've got Stacy Oliver gave us a little heart.
Yeah.
She's in and out watching. She's obviously the Mind Body Soul magazine is her creation.
Yeah, she's the COO, and I don't know, Mischa, unfortunately my opening instructor is having heart surgery, Reagan Carruthers, and Stacy Oliver stepped in, and she's going to do the opening heart meditation on Thursday for us now. Fantastic. So shout out to Stacy for stepping up and supporting Reagan and what she needs to do for her body so that we could keep the exact same theme and do ascending the wisdom of the heart to just open up the whole festival with Stacy.
Fantastic. That is going to be awesome. Love Stacy. Stacy, what's up? So glad you're on the watching here. Sarah, I'm going to butcher the last name. Hilly. Sarah Hilly's giving us a little love. Healy, and then Beth Mangianetti is giving us a little love too. So awesome. So excited about that. Now, Dhyana, thanks for being so patient and showing up. And first off, not American born, right? From what I understand. Yeah. So tell us, where are you from originally?
I was born in Romania, and I fled communism. I got here in 1991. My story was not as exciting as my ex-husband's. He escaped illegally, jumping from a commercial ship into the Black Sea and tried to swim to the shore in Istanbul to make it to America. And he made it. Yeah. And I found him with papers in order because I wasn't going to jump off a boat and then swim to the shore like he did. I said, no, that's not for me.
He did the heavy lifting, did he? He did the heavy lifting. And
He
then,
did, and I
and then,
supported him all along the way. Before and after, we had this dream together. We went to English school at night to learn English so we can make it easier when we get here. It was fun, and I was 21 when we got married, and then I was 27 when I got here. So now I have more than half of my life spent in US and less than half in Romania. So I can say I'm fully American.
good, cool.
It's been a journey. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're leading Saturday, the 13th, 5 p.m., the Vin
Yes.
Yin yoga practice. Give us a breakdown. What's the Vin Yin yoga practice?
Through my yoga journey and learning and teaching so many styles, I started back in 95 to, learn on my own, to train, to get this, this certificate, the other with different gurus and leaders and so forth. So I learned many styles, vinyasa yoga, hatha yoga, hot yoga, Bikram style, yin yoga, kundalini yoga. So I have like a full array of yoga styles under my belt. So I decided to do a Vin Yin. Vin means vinyasa, which is like the flow, more energetic, and so forth. And then Yin, it would be the slowing down, the soothing style of yoga where you hold the postures longer, just to have a nice combination to get us energized but also relaxed before Ananda does deal at 7 p.m. right after my class. Mm-hmm. So that's how we came up with this combo flow of vinyasa in yoga.
So
I think it will work out great for everybody,
What's that?
This combination of two different styles of yoga. A little energy at the beginning and then a little slowing down, adding to the energy, adding the relaxation effect. You will kind of get us ready for the next thing coming. So, which I'm planning to stay for. I'm looking forward to it. Because we don't get that many great leaders of Kirtan coming to St. Louis. I know before Saul David Ray came a few times. He would do a festival every fall in September. But otherwise, you'll have to go, Sedona, California, San Diego to kind of go to a nice Kirtan fest. So it's nice to have the real deal in St. Louis, Missouri, in Augusta. Excited about that. Yeah. And I'm personally planning to join as many sessions as I can. I haven't signed up yet, but I will, and enjoy it as much as I can. And I got connection with my Buddhist temple in Augusta, my Buddhist, because that's where I spend my, but that's what I trained with the nuns from China and Malaysia over there. I had done some Buddhist meditation and became a Dharma teacher for them in Augusta, Missouri. And it's called Mid-American Buddhist Association. So I said, well, I'm going to have to stay a night or two in Augusta. And I looked up at all the hotels and everything. They're like $400 a night. So I called my little temple and I said, actually, it's big, it's not little. Can I spend a night there as I, enjoy this festival? I said, yeah, you're always welcome. So it's so nice that I can go and spend the night over there and don't have to commute all the way through. So it's awesome. A blessing to have friends everywhere, on the hills of Augusta especially.
And Mischa, this is a piece that we really haven't spoken about, but in Little Augusta, Missouri is the Mid-American Buddhist Association right here by town. And it is a little hidden gem, but those practicing Buddhism, there's Dharma every Sunday. And correct me if I'm having the wrong dates, Diana, I don't go to the temple regularly there, but yeah, they have Dharma and
they do. They teach
meditation time.
It's in the morning. Then they have the services where you get to listen to Dharma talk and then chant, and then you have lunch if you're staying for lunch. These days you have to let them know you're coming and so forth, because most people do it on Zoom still for whatever reason, but they are open for people. And even if you don't go to practice, you can just go and walk the grounds. It's a beautiful setting there that they have, just to kind of feel the energy of the place. It's very, very nice. So, and they have a beautiful Buddha statue in the middle of the center there, and 2-3 buildings alongside of it. It's a beautiful experience. If you make it that far, might as well check it out.
Absolutely. Get your Buddha on. while you're at the festival or after. Absolutely. That's very cool.
With a head on.
Yeah. So you remind me for some reason of like a gypsy, you know, you have this like gypsy
Like coloring a little bit. Well,
yeah,
I was
and
born
the
by
hair and the
Black Sea.
accent and
I was born by the Black Sea, so this is the area where you get the people that are a little bit more oriental looking at the skin. And if you go more western part of Romania, like northwest and northeast, you get more of the lighter color because they have German or Hungarian heritage. But on the Black Sea, you have more maybe of the Balkanic kind of influence. So I could be a mix of Turkish, Albanian, Bulgarian, I don't know. It could be a mix of anything because Romania was invaded many, many times by different Byzantine countries and the Ottoman Empire and this and that. So the Black Sea was very high rated in the Carpathian Mountains. So they came to take whatever they could from our little beautiful country.
Well, and I think to chime in.
But I'm not gypsy to say it, but
Yeah.
I relate to the culture. I love to dance when there's a kirtan, bliss. I'm gonna just be doing my thing, you know, because I love to enjoy my body, you know, my energy.
Diana and I have not yet met in person. I was connected with her through another yogi friend. And Mischa saying the gypsy piece, I think it's your playfulness. She sent me a number of photos of herself, and Diana knows how to have fun and play and is very, I think that's that gypsy spirit Mischa is seeing. Because there is something just that exudes from you. And if you can't get smiley and hang out and play with Diana.
that's what I was hinting. I was I'm imagining. I was imagining your classes, you probably bring that vibe or say it however you want and that energy and just the look and everything. So it's got to be super fun. I'm just imagining your classes that you lead are a ton of fun and just great energy and all that.
You get to be in my class sometimes, all of a sudden I come to a song that really catches me. I'm like, oh, no, we're not going to do yoga. Now we're just going to do free flow. We're going to do whatever the heck we feel like doing in the moment. So like, okay, forget a yoga pose, just move your body the way you please and enjoy it, because that's when you release more tension, when you flow freely without being so regimented. People get a little bit into yoga, a little bit too serious. And I have to get them out of that. Because then they start to look at the posture, at the other person's posture. They start to judge themselves. They don't feel good enough. They decide, no. Enjoy your body, whatever you can do. Lift the leg, lift the finger. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy and be with your body and be open and relaxed, you know.
So that's nice.
And breathe, like you know, that's what you got, because everybody says, oh, I can do yoga because I can even touch my toes. I mean, it is not a requirement to touch your toes to do yoga, but people do feel that way still. So it's not a requirement. You just have to be alive. If you're breathing, you can do yoga. Just come in, you know, we'll have something for you, you know.
Cool. So what's
I encourage people to get up and play and have fun with their bodies. Because we forget, we get so much into our head and we live up here so much that it's not even funny. Then we run in this circle, hamster wheel effect of this crazy mind, monkey mind. And we just don't even live in our bodies. We live in our head and in the world. We got to come back to us, to the soul, to the heart. And this is the beauty of this festival. It's going to bring a lot of leaders together that have the same kind of energy or similar, and they're all going to bring so many unique, beautiful things. You know, we have Sangeeta with her beautiful voice. We have Ananda Das. My friend, what's her name? Karen People. You know, that she's going to do the kundalini. Siriatma, I was going to say her name. And then Simrit came to mind. Simrit is a singer that I love as well. And then we have Tori from my studio. She's got her own beautiful energy, you know, a little bit more fire, more pitta. You get to enjoy her as well. And then I met Melissa online, and I saw the other people in the other interviews. So hopefully we'll get to connect and share in person now. And then all the people that are going to be there are going to create the energy as well. And that's what we want. And that's what we hope to provide and offer to this community that never had this thing before. So I'm very grateful for Kathy that had this idea to bring it here, because I mean, we can make this a thing now, right? Because if you do it once, you got to do it again. Right?
So quick, you've got a book coming out, which we're gonna get to in a minute. And then I see I'm looking at your website now. Envision, it says we've got pentagram personality, human, change your mind, change your habits, change your results. And you're a life enhancement coach, yoga, Qigong, love the Qigong, meditation instructor, trauma release, and then we've got transformation, CHT. In a minute, maybe we can talk. Maybe we can dive into a little bit of that and talk about some of those modalities that you love and how you're helping some people. But before we do that, one of the things that I love about what's going on at this yoga festival, Bliss, again, the link is in the notes, so be sure to click on it. There's going to be 16 amazing teachers, of which Kathy and Diana are two of them. So is it 17 including you, Kathy, or is it 16?
I think it's 16 including me.
Okay, cool.
I sometimes have to recount, but they're so amazing, each one of them.
Yeah. And so 16, click on the link. Everybody needs to go. It's going to be ridiculously amazing. I realize that I use amazing and ridiculous, so those are like my two adverbs that I just
we can throw some new ones in there. Fabulous, fun.
I know. Right. So fun. There we go. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, inspiring.
There we go. Thank you. I'm like, I got to work on my adverb list. I need to make a list and start dropping other ones in. What's that?
How about the ridiculously blissful?
Yes, ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculously blissful.
There you go.
But the lineup is truly awesome, and I've very much enjoyed interviewing everybody. But one of the themes that I love that's going through this is that there is going to be a lot of space for kids. Like there's a lot of kids sessions for tweens, for teens, for this sort of thing. So Kathy, maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, just a quick plug. Originally I thought, we'll do the adult stuff Saturday, Sunday, and I'll do a kids thing Friday. But the schedule just kept growing and evolving, and I couldn't fit everyone in 2 days. So it's now Thursday afternoon through Sunday into the evening. And I set aside some sacred space for the kids. So kids don't typically need as long a session. So I reached out to my friend Bojana Johnson, who's a myofascial release therapist from Michigan, who's a school teacher. She's a second grade school teacher, and she was ecstatic. She's a yogi. I was also connected by my friend Dee Dee Schreiner, who teaches I Am Yoga at Morningstar Church. Her friend Josie is a yogi and has little ones and has a passion for the kids. So Josie's going to lead the 4 to 6 year olds. It's just a 45-minute session. We're just going to get them moving and playing and loving themselves. And then Bojana's going to lead the 7 to 11 age range. And man, that's a broad age range for kids, but I just couldn't keep dividing smaller and smaller because you never know who's all going to show up. And then I'm going to lead the tween teen, and the three of us are going to support that whole kids to teenage for a 4-hour window. And while that's going on, Jenna Israel, who is doing a lot of integration work, she's going to be leading a mindfulness in nature session where they're going to practice, walking meditation, because not all adults can sit and meditate. So like if you're walking, can you just, get out of your head a little bit and enjoy what's around you? So weather permitting, hopefully they'll go down to the Katy Trail, which is the flat rails to trails, and they'll do that. And we'll have the kids in the indoor space, just creating something really special and sacred for them, and get the vibe of what kids show up and lead them in something that helps them get into their body. Like Diana was saying, like, what does it feel like to be present in your body? What does it feel like to play and move? And I recently took an online training on kids yoga. And one of the things that it talked about was teaching the kids how to go from something high energy to calm, right? That regulation that we need to be able to have. So we'll move and we'll expend some energy. And hopefully after we expend some energy, we can take them into some meditation, some stillness, some Zen relaxation, and teach them how to just sit and be present within themselves. So you never know who's showing up on the mat. So we'll stay flexible as well, because that's what yogis do. Flexible of body and mind, and they go together.
Yeah.
The energy and see what you need to go there.
So the kids link is a little different for registration. If folks are registering for the event, all the sessions fall into these price categories, but the kids, we just took it down to $5 just to cover some cost of things and to hopefully make it really affordable for some kids to come to the mat, and kept the groups a little smaller, just 12 kids. So there's a 6-to-1 adult ratio for that session.
Yeah.
So that they really get the love from the leaders and can feel their hearts and know that they're special.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That is ridiculously amazing. No, what were the adverbs? Where's my adverb list? Real quick.
Ridiculously blissful.
Yes. And really quick, I have to give a shout out to my friend Kevin Saunders. He always jumps on my lives, and he gave us a little thumbs up or a little heart. And then Elizabeth Holla Fitzgerald, who's a buddy of mine from this coaching program we're on. So what's up, Elizabeth? It's good to have you and see you watch for a little bit. And Kevin, of course, love you, Kevin. Always super supportive. Let me jump to your website, Diana. So you have a book coming out in 30 seconds. What's that?
Pardon me. I was checking the Facebook.
Oh,
I wanted to give people some love out there.
Yeah. So we've got a book coming out. 30 seconds. Tell us what's going on with the book. Tell us the title, what's happening. Yeah.
The book is called Reclaiming Your Angelic Self. It's basically getting back to our true nature. And how do we do that? And I did it myself. I had a long story. I put it in the book, a little bit of it, most of it maybe, but in a short version. But I had some challenges in my life. Life wasn't always easy for me or fun, or, I had challenges on the way with my health, with my marriage, and I had to find a way. This was the good thing, because it made me follow the yoga path and even research even deeper. I did hypnotherapy, I did Qigong to heal my body. I had severe depression, anxiety, fibromyalgia. I had the cancer starting in my breast. I healed all that naturally. I got off of drugs. I did this healthy path, nutrition, environmental. Who do you hang out with? Who do you surround yourself with? What practice do you do? How much work you do? How much relaxation time you have? I just cut down on everything. I don't own a TV in my house for 12 years. I'm very careful what I do in my time, who I spend my time with, who I connect with. Connect with me more so than anything these days, because I'm so much in the world that I need to be more with me. So I'm sharing these practices and my experience of yoga in this book. And I put, certain postures or certain kriyas that I've done that help me a certain way. So it's very specific to any emotion you might have, any challenge, any whatever. So it's a hands-on. It's about 235 pages of my life experience in all these healing practices. And most of it, it's about basically you do yoga and you do everything you do, not just only to have fun, but to release some of your past, because we store so much in the body. And that's why the body is so important, because the vehicle through which you can get it out, because memories, they don't only get stored in the brain or in your mind, they get stored in the body. And that becomes a junkyard of the body-mind system. And until you get the junk out of the junkyard, your life is not going to be thriving. It's going to be surviving, to be honest with you. And I was there, and I got myself out. And now that I can see the difference in myself, in my life, in what I created and how I feel, like, I need to share this with everyone. So that's what the book is about.
That's cool. And so if I heard you
learn a few things as I created the book, I got to create my book cover, I got my ISBN numbers, all these new things you learn, and it's always fun to learn, right? So yeah.
So fun to learn. If we can look at it that way, an opportunity to learn, an opportunity for growth. So if I heard you correctly, it sounds like you've got some frameworks or some specific solutions or steps for specific, to meet specific
challenges,
needs,
problems, conditions, you can call them. It's not it's a recipe for everything, really.
Yeah, that's cool.
I learned many styles of different healing modalities, including acupressure, Qigong healing, not just Qigong practice, hypnotherapy that can get you, my name for trance, you see it's spelled differently. It's not transformation, it's trance with the word trance and then formation. So you get to transform yourself, your mind, your paradigm through these hypnotic exercises I will have you do. So I can help people that way to release their trauma, their past, their, limited beliefs of themselves and blockages and so forth. So yeah.
That's very cool. I will put your link to your website in the show notes too at some point here as soon as we end, so people that are watching or happen to watch later can click, check it out, check out your book, check you out, and see all the cool stuff you're up to. I want to ask you, yeah, indeed. When did you were born, tell us where you were born again?
In Constanța, Romania, by the Black Sea.
God, I love that. How amazing is that?
And
I'm a little jealous that you were born in Romania by the Black Sea. I mean, who gets to say that? Who gets to say that? Not many people, right? But you immigrated to the U.S. when you were 27. It sounds like, I think, is that what you said? Mm-hmm. And then when did you stumble across yoga, or when did you start diving into these modalities that you love so much and that you're helping people transform their lives with? Give me the arc of that story there.
In the first few years I was here by myself, I did not stay with my husband at that time, so I started my journey separate from him. We're still friends even now. So I had a lot of time on my hands. So the first 4 or 5 years, I started to look into yoga. I ended up in this Delmar de Loop, if you are from St. Louis, the area. And there's this subterranean bookshop where you go down in the dungeon in the basement, very small lighting, very little lighting. And I found this book, and it was in French. And in Romania, we had to learn French and Russian. So I knew my French, no problem. So I'm grabbing this book, it's in French. Je perfection mon yoga.
Let me just interrupt you for a second. I just want to interrupt you for a second. I love how foreigners or expats or whatever, just are offhandedly, you're like, oh yeah, I know French, I know Russian, and of course I know English, and then Romanian, right? And it's like, right? Yeah. Or my mother was from Germany, right? She immigrated. And so she spoke, Italian, German, French, like, I speak English poorly, and so I appreciate that about you. I'm sorry to go off on that tangent. But what year is it?
That was about 93 when I started to practice on my own in my own apartment. I had rented nice little flat on top of a 2-story house right on Hampton here in St. Louis. And I started practice on my own in my own apartment, and I was doing the kriyas and the cleansing of the nose and all that weird stuff.
Tell us what a kriya is quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, I was doing the Vamadawati, all this stuff, and I haven't practiced that for a while.
Yeah, she's skating over it, but you were putting the gauze through your nostrils down into your belly, and doing the purification
your nasal passages and your throat and everything. Yeah,
she slipped right over that. Some people might be thinking of neti pot when she says nose, but no, she's doing the really deep yogi practice where we cleanse the belly. I haven't done that. Yeah, you were serious.
All right, so Diana, and you stumble down the stairs in 1993 into a bookshop, and you find a French book on yoga, and then you start going deep, and next thing you know, you've got gauze going through your nose,
all the way to her belly.
In your belly.
On both ends to do the cleansing, which is like your own. How do you call it?
For anybody watching,
you're doing your own colonics. I do that too. I mean, why not? We need it because we do eat junk sometimes, right?
Not me. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh my God. I'm looking over.
As pure as I can.
I'm looking over here. I have jalapeno kettle fried potato chips. Does that what do those count as? But anyway, I just want to say,
okay.
okay, we're not talking.
Biceps with that one. You might get some triceps, you know.
We are not talking about yoga light with you. Like, you have been in deep for a while.
Yeah.
But Kriya, you'd mentioned Kriyas for anybody who's watching and is like, I think, well, I love your perspective that it's not like you're not like at your I'm trying to think of like a national yoga chain like Core Power. Love Core Power. They're great. I've done plenty of classes there, but you've gone many levels
The
deeper.
tradition.
Yeah, so you're embedded in it. You have been for decades now, which is awesome, but also speaks to how old we are.
That's
but
awesome too, you know, because
but
the saying in yoga, we don't count our age in numbers, but how you feel in the flexibility of your spine. If your spine is flexible, you can be 20 and feel like 100, or you can be 100 and feel like 20. If your spine is not supporting, you can be 20 and feel like 100. So, that's all.
That. I love that. And yoga has definitely been the fountain of youth for me. One of the things, and generally speaking, a healthy eating lifestyle, other than my kettle fried jalapeno potato
The
chips.
80-20 rule, Mischa, right?
There we go.
80% clean, 20 to play.
Thank you. Right? You gotta dabble in the kettle potato chip.
Some 90-10, but we all need to have our pleasures.
Yeah. So I do have a sweet tooth, so don't watch me what I eat at night.
Okay, right. That's right. What happens?
7 p.m. It's
yes. Well, I love
chocolate and wine.
Yeah, I love that you ditched your TV 12 or 13 years ago. That is fantastic.
Me too. I'm a TV-less person.
Yeah, awesome. I don't hear that many people. I'm so glad we connect with that one. Because people use it as background, but you know what? As you have that in the background all the time, you know what it does? The main thing that it does, it conditions you to what the world wants you to be and become and believe. And we do that. We need to have a mind of our own. We need to have a discrimination power. We need to have our strength back, and we need to empower each and everyone. And that's what I think yoga brings to the world. And it did it all the time, but it's still so needed nowadays. So that's why I want to share with more and more people through my book, through my YouTube channel, to, Instagram, whatever I can be present. I would like to be in a good way to spread more and more of this yoga, and not necessarily the, good looking yoga. Oh my gosh, I do this pose, I flip my feet over my head. No, that's not what I do. It's gymnastics, great. Some people can do it, but yoga needs to be for everybody. It's for the mind, body, spirit, soul, emotions. When you get balanced and you connect in that way with yourself, then everything else is going to change. So
and just the ability to learn how to, definitely helped me manage my emotions, right? And embrace my emotions as well. And then, as you're stretching out, just the release of whatever stuff I carry. The fascia, which is a big theme in your yoga festival Bliss. A bunch of you all are trained in this myofascia release, which we've talked about a bunch, which is, yoga was transformational for me to finally in my life as a male to start releasing more emotions than I was taking in, right? For a while, it was like take in all these emotions and just store it in, right? And then life got a little bit rocky, and it was like, all right, I sort of learned how to like let go as much as I was taking in. And then at some point, it was like, you got to get rid of all that old stuff too. And it was horrifying in the moment to step over that, to jump off that cliff or cross that line, but the benefits for me have been unbelievable. So anybody listening and watching needs to go to Yoga Festival Bliss, August 11th through the 14th in Harmony, Verine.
Yay.
Yay. At the Harmony Verine Cultural Center, 533 Hackman Street in Augusta, MO. Turns out that the North Central Buddhist, whatever you said, is there.
Maba, Mid-American.
Mid-American.
Buddhist Association.
Awesome. So going to be a ton of fun, ton of good food. There's going to be stuff for the kids, yoga based, mindfulness based. So we can at least throw them in the mix a little bit if they would like to jump in. Where am I going with this? But back to you, Dhyana, you had mentioned Kriyas. Tell everybody what a Kriya is, because I think a lot of these terms we throw around, and you've been embedded deep in yoga and, you know, the philosophy and stuff, but someone who's watching might not know what a Kriya is.
Kriya are sets of exercises that used to be secret for many, many centuries. They got to be released into the world by Yogi Bhajan. Yogananda also brought the Kriyas to the West, but in his tradition, they were secret. They were only done in secret space to the ones that were initiated.
Like
but Yogi Bhajan in the 60s brought it to everybody, and they are very powerful. These sets of exercises, they can contain 2, 3, or 4 types of exercises, and it has to do with a lot moving the hands or the arms to control the brain or the legs. So they are very powerful and very transforming. To me, Kundalini yoga is like the yoga of awareness and yoga of transformation. It can totally take you out of what you were and bring you back to your true self. They're very powerful poses and kriyas that you can do. We do have 2 sessions, I think, of Kundalini in the
I was just gonna plug that. Yeah, so kriyas are typically used in the Kundalini practice. They're the specific sets of exercises placed together in a very mindful way. And Saryatma Kaur is going to be Saturday doing the kriyas in her Kundalini practice, complemented by her gift of playing the gong. And if you've never taken a bath in the sound of gong, it's an amazing transformative experience. Saryatma is the one who recommended we bring Shanae Booth to the festival, and Shanae does inspirational activation, transformational breath work. And Shanae is going to be right after that Kundalini gong bath. So if you want to go deep, sign up for those 2 back to back, and you will be transported into some new places. And then when we spoke with Ananda Das, he during COVID studied in India the specific Sattva Himalayan Kundalini yoga, and that will be on Friday night at 7:00. So there's a couple of opportunities there to experience the kriyas from those 2 different teachers who are Kundalini focused.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I think Nanda Das one, it's about opening the heart center. His kriyas are about.
He is all about opening the heart. The concert after Dhyana is going to be the heart concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so people watching live right now, or if you happen to stumble across this later, check out Ananda Das. Go to Spotify.
Yep.
You'll love him. He's going to be at Yoga Festival Bliss. So that's like a score. I mean, that's a score. Well done, Kathy.
That is, yes.
Yeah, good score. But Dhyana, I'm looking at your website. I want to know, and I want to back you into a corner a little bit, and I want you to tell me sort of your favorite modality right now.
It's always a mix for me, because I kind of feel feel what I need. You know, sometimes you need more energy. Sometimes you're half energized and you need to wind down. So I do yin yoga, where I move slow and hold the poses for a long time. When I'm super tense, super stressed, super active, I come to that yin yoga practice. If I need more energy, I'll do some Qigong moves, or I gather some Qi and flow it through my body very slowly, very smoothly. If I'm low on energy or I'm stuck in my head, I'll go into some crazy Kundalini kriyas, you know, where you move your arms, you move your body, you know, you do whatever just to get it out. So that's Kundalini. And then, of course, I do need to meditate when I get too tense, too stressed, too anxious. And sometimes we do have those passing emotions, but as soon as you catch them, you know the recipe, you know what to do. Because we're humans, we're going to have all kinds of transient emotions. Not negative emotions are not bad. People label them, oh my gosh, I have negative emotions. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm fearful. No, those are valid emotions. We need to acknowledge them. but we need to know what to do with them, express them in the right way, get them out in the right way so it don't affect our internal system or other people. So that's why we have these kundalini kriyas. That's why we have the meditation practice. That's why we have the yoga. So teaching those people's tools and practices and techniques to help them, get through life. They are not only coping mechanism, they are transformational tools, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But in the moment they feel like coping because you need to get through something that's there, a blockage in your life, in your moment, right? And you do something and you're done, you're out of it, right? So that's the beauty of yoga, and that's what it brings to the world, to the spirit.
I love that. Can I ask you another question?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say at this point in your life, you're emotionally, mentally, in the best spot you've ever been?
I am physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I feel like I am more balanced than I ever been. First of all, because I declutter my life from an unhealthy marriage, from all my diseases, all my medications. I put them behind me. I don't believe in them. I didn't buy into them anymore. So I had rebuilt myself. My personality has changed. Even my outlook on life has changed. But I still feel emotions that people label as negative. I still get angry at the world because there's many things that we need to be angry about. But in a way that, what do I do about it? Being the solution rather than focusing on the problem and pointing the finger, this is happening, that's happening. What can I do personally to change what is affecting me personally? Because if it is affecting me, it may affecting you too. Like, recently we had this thing with Roe Wade, and I don't know, as a woman, I was like out of my mind, out of my body. I could not believe how this human woman right can be taken away, because it made me feel like I'm back in communism. I'm still angry about this, okay? You can feel it, right? I felt like I'm back in communist country. It has nothing to do with religion. I do love children. I do want people to bring, beauty into the world. But I don't need anybody, or any woman needs to be told by some law to have a kid that they don't want. It's not the right time. It's not the right circumstance. There's no monetary means. Whatever the reason may be, it's their personal decision as a couple, or even as a single woman, because a lot of women are alone in these situations. Nobody's supporting them. And what you get at the end of the year, you get $600 extra that you have another kid. What's that? That's going to be buying them food for 6 months or whatever. So it's like, and I wrote a poem about this, and I'm sharing it in a book. It's a very long poem about women and how women feel right now because of this. So I hope you get to read a book, to read a poem, and sometimes I share on Facebook. But I find out that many women don't dare to even agree with it, or to feel it, or they're either ashamed, or they're suppressed so much, or they're afraid that they'll be judged if they say something, either or. So I don't get any comments on my beautiful poems, but I do write all kinds of other good poems. But this one was a nasty one because I had to show my my anger in it. That's one of my ways to express my anger. I write.
Awesome.
So I can read the poem if you like.
No, we'll save that. Anybody can go to Facebook, it sounds like, and check it out. And
Yes.
I appreciate the outlet.
Yeah. Emotions are valid. That's what I wanted to say with that. That I do get off kilter, but the key is how soon you notice that you're off, and how soon you get back.
Yeah, right. Because
so that's
life
the key.
will.
Because it's normal. We are human, and there's many things that can trigger us. You notice it, you observe it, you feel it, you let go of it, get back to you.
Yeah. I have another question for you. Does it surprise you that at your current time in life that you're perhaps the best place you've ever been, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally?
It's not that it surprises me, but it gladdens me that I did work on it. I needed to build courage to get out to where I was, to not be afraid to do what I did, to not have any guilt or shame about it, And I had to just recreate myself basically. And that's what yoga helped me to do. Build myself back up, because my childhood wasn't easy in communism. And then my marriage wasn't great. And then my health wasn't great because of all these other things around it. So I had to get through, like almost people say rock bottom. For me, it wasn't in a way that, oh my gosh, I had no house, I had no money. It wasn't that. It was, I didn't have myself. I had lost myself along the way. I had lost my health, my positivity, my spark, all of those things were gone. And I had to rebuild myself.
Cool. And you've gotten all that stuff back.
And I
love
got
that.
it. Yeah. So
I want to be
but
cognizant.
it's a journey, it's a path, and it takes work. It doesn't come overnight.
And I'd like to, I heard you say earlier you got off drugs, so you were, or whatever that meant, but it's like, hey, you figured out medication.
Let me tell you, there's a
So-
story with that. That's when I realized that I need to be off of them. I was in my bad marriage with 2 young children. I was owning a restaurant at that point. Crazy business, not much help, people calling off. I was working like a crazy woman. Hey, let's take a 5-day vacation to go to Cancun, me and my husband trying to reconnect, right, with no kids. Oh, guess what? I forget my medication at home. At that point, I was on Xanax, Prozac, and nortriptyline to sleep. Depression medication, anxiety medication, sleep medication. All 3, I left them at home. I forgot to take them. Guess who went zombie in Cancun? Me. I felt like a drug addict with not having my pills. I was going insane. My husband like, oh, drink something else. No, I don't drink. No. I'll go get you some street drugs. No, I don't do drugs, So he got me some soft sleep pills from the pharmacy, to get me by. And then I barely made it back home. I finally took some tequila shots to get into airplane to come back home. In Miami, I almost wanted to go to the hospital because I was just going crazy not to wanted to go in another airplane. I'm like, no. I never been afraid of airplanes and airports, but now I was all like, not myself. So eventually the thought about I wanted to get back to the kids made me get back in that plane, and I made it home. And then I said, I'm gonna get rid of these drugs one by one, because they were not really helping me anymore. But you got used to them, your system's used to them, and you take more and more and more, but with the same effect or even less effect over time. I said, this is not the way. This is not the way.
How long ago was that?
That was back in 2010. And I said, what's the root problem here? Why do I do all these drugs? Why do I need them? Okay, because I need to put up with a bad marriage and with a bad job situation. I got either both. Back to me. I mean, nothing against man, guys.
No, I love it. The way you said that is amazing.
And I'm glad I got over with it, because I personally don't feel like I should be married again. I do like, to have relationships and enjoy friendships, but being a one-on-one, I could not do it again.
Yeah, cool. I appreciate
because I like my space. I like my freedom. I like my space. I like to be alone. I'm in the world a lot with people every day in my both jobs. So I don't need anything at home. I need to be with me. I need to recover, recharge, recollect, love myself, give back to me. So, yeah. And I travel.
Yeah, good. So good. I love it. I want a quick, in 60 seconds, do you have a favorite? You have clients, or I don't know if you call them clients, but there's people that you help as a coach. Do you have a favorite, like, before and after story for one of your clients?
Well, this one person or one story, I remember always. There was this guy, he was just a very, very hyper personality and always afraid of everything, with this high anxiety. And we had to work a few sessions to get to the root of that, through transformation, healing. I had to do some kundalini with him to get him out of his body, and then get into his mind and find out where that came from. And his heart was beating so fast. He had a heart that was basically beating to about 100 RPMs, which normally is 72 for men. And after we got to the bottom of that problem that he had resolved with me over about 6 sessions, his heart rate has changed. His fear had dropped. So that was like the most relevant experience I can tell somebody always had, ever had. So you got him out of this constant anxiety that was underlying everything he was doing, basically. And you know, the anxiety is gonna make your heart rate go fast and your brain go fast, your speech go fast, everything. It was fast, fast, fast and everything. Driving fast, eating fast. And that was just such a big change.
Cool. I love that. Again, I'm going to put your link for your website in the show notes. When I look over here, I'm looking at your website. I want to remind everybody of Yoga Festival of Bliss, August 11th through the 14th, 2022. 16 amazing teachers,
Yay.
leaders over 3.5 days, including Kathy, who's the gracious host of the Yoga Festival Bliss, the inspiration behind putting it together, and Diana here, who's going to be doing what is it? The Vin Yin yoga practice. But this has been a ton of fun. Diana, you're a treat, and I think what you will bring to the it's going to be exciting. You are going to bring some personality to it, so that's amazing. I think time wise, we're going to shut her down, and 15 seconds or less. Diana, anything you would feel remiss that you didn't get to say if you didn't say it right now?
No, I think we covered everything. Like I said, I'm very grateful that this is happening in our state, in our area here, because it's going to be a new center of yoga, right? And Kathy is starting this, and I'm very grateful and very happy that it's happening here locally. And we're going to get a lot of people this year, and I know probably even more in the future from all the surrounding states and from California, even who knows, from Romania. Yeah, you know, so it's going to grow. I'm so excited about it. Very thrilled to be part of this.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And Kathy, how about you? Anything that you're like, man,
Yeah, you know, it's just so exciting to watch it all unfolding, to meet new instructors, to bring together this amazing team of leadership, to create something so special that hopefully everyone's going to feel comfortable coming to the mat. Whether you resonate with me, Diana, Ananda Das, Saryatma, breath work, meditation, that there is something for everyone, that you can make it as small or big of an experience as you want, the way we have it formatted. So they can call Halcyon Spa if they need help registering. Special thanks to Mind, Body, Soul magazine for doing these interviews and supporting us and getting the marketing out there through social media. You know, the key is, how do we spread the word to invite more people to the mat? And then also to Sunflower Hill Farm for creating this amazing menu, that the food choices are going to be really easy if someone wants to register for the food choices that we've set up for the whole thing. So there's just lots of great components to this festival, and really, really happy to have it in my hometown.
Yeah.
I did mean to say one more thing. We didn't talk at all about the cacao ceremony. A lot of people may not know about that and what that is. Can somebody share that? Because they
can watch the first interview with Ananda Das. He spoke about it, but cacao is basically the raw chocolate, and it's done in a ceremonial way where we're sipping on raw chocolate, and Ananda Das puts his heart and soul and music into everything he does. So it'll be a really special way to close. So Stacey Oliver is going to be opening with that Ascending the Wisdom of the Heart, a meditation to open our hearts and get us open. And Ananda Das spoke about the cacao ceremony we'll have at the end, and just speaking about how chocolate creates bliss, as well as some other types of euphoric experiences.
Brings vitality. It helps bring some vitality.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, this is gonna fun. this has been a ton of fun. Again, everybody
Yeah.
go into the show notes and go register for some days, find your hotel, get to the yoga festival Bliss.
Yeah, and just to plug, Mischa, because if the bed and breakfasts are full in town, which couldn't happen because we're small, the closest hotels are in Washington, Missouri. There's one called the Old Dutch Hotel. It's a boutique hotel. There's a couple other hotels in Washington. There's lots of Airbnbs these days. So look for things in New Melly, Marthasville, Dutso, these little towns around us, all the way to Weldon Springs. And Chesterfield's just a 30-minute drive. And there's plenty in Chesterfield, the suburb of St. Louis, for people. So you can make this become what you want. St. Charles is not far from the airport. It's a 30-minute drive from Augusta, where you can get a little bit of the city and drive out to the country vibe and have a winding road to just help get you in the mood.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great tips. Great tips.
Yeah.
I think we covered it all. Thank you
got
everybody for watching. And I'm going to hit stop on the live stream and we will say goodbye offline.
Yeah.